Okay, so the Jeep's now lifted.
It's lifted.
Bigger wheels and tires.
Shod with some BFGs.
That's where most people stop.
Yep.
And then they don't have fun, do they?
That's a big mistake.
Because why?
Because their gearing's all wrong, and their fuel economy goes to crap, and they got no power, and they're living a nightmare.
And then they don't have fun on their Jeep.
They have no fun whatsoever.
And then at that point, then you sort of second guess this whole Jeep thing, right? And that's when you go 1 tons and 40s.
Well, the one thing Neil's got going for him is that he's a Yukon gear and axle.
They have some gears here.
They got gears, they got lockers, they got the shafts, they got all the small parts to actually do what you should do every time you go to a bigger tire, which is re-gear so you can maximize the performance out of the motor.
Okay, so we're leaving the Dana 30 in the front.
Yep.
Because it doesn't really need to be upgraded.
Yeah, this is hard for me to say, and you guys that know that crawl, the Dana 30 is like half of a Dana 60.
I don't use them. I don't use them at all. I give them away.
Yeah, they're cute. But in this application, it's going to work. It's going to be perfectly fine for what he's going to do. And for turning a 35 with chromoly shafts and a really strong locker, it'll be fine for a long time.
So we've got 35, so we've got new gears. What ratio are we going with on this?
You know, I'm not sure. We could probably look at the box, but...
I'm going to guess it's a 488.
Okay.
Am I right? Yes. Look, the guy nodding off camera said it's a 4. That's where I would have went. Because, I mean, the thing is, you see, 488s work good for 37s and 35s on the Jeeps. 513s work real good for the 40s, but that might be a little too deep for a 35.
Yeah.
See, I would have gone to the 513s because these would just be like temporary tires for me.
Yeah.
On this weight
Those
of 40s.
are just rollers.
That's right. Those would just be what I borrowed till I got my 40s. But those are good. So 488s, Yukon, good quality chromoly shafts.
Yep.
Changing the bolt pattern.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting.
It makes it cooler.
Well, it's a little bit stronger.
Yep. And now they getting rid of the unit bearings.
Spin-free kit.
Yes. Which is kind of cool because, I mean, I knew they had them for the big trucks, but I didn't know they did them for the little Jeeps.
Yeah.
So that'll, for those of you that don't know, that eliminates the unit bearing, replaces it with a typical roller bearing. So now you've got a serviceable unit.
Completely rebuildable.
And something that this Jeep never had from the factory.
Lockout hubs.
Lockout hubs. And these are the cool lockout hubs, the Yukon hardcore lockout hubs.
Yep.
They're the best.
Yep.
My favorites. A lot of grease to put them together, though. That's why those guys have rubber gloves on over there. You ever notice that? There's so much grease goes in that one little hub, but it works well.
I try not to look at mine too often.
You let someone else deal with that. You got to put a lot of grease in there, but once it's in there, that'll make a huge difference on this Jeep. So we've gotten the performance back by swapping out the gears.
Yep.
So now it's going to perform. But by putting the lockout hubs in the front, now on the front, we're not turning that whole axle.
There's a whole rotating assembly there that just now can just sit.
So now
and live longer.
We can lie to ourselves and say that all these modifications will get better fuel mileage. We're doing all of this. All of this is being done to this Jeep for better fuel mileage.
The one thing that he's going to love is that when you get in a regular 4-liter Jeep on 29-inch tires and you step on the gas, that thing scoots. I mean, it's a lot of fun to drive.
Like a rocket ship.
Now it's going to drive like that on 35s.
That'll be cool.
And that's the part that people stop at the lift and tires, and they're always disappointed. You don't stop until you do the gearing.
Well, they usually buy light bars first.
Yeah, light bars and angry grills.
But, I always say, what's the one thing you got to get before your light bar? Lockers before light bars. Hashtag it. Lockers before light bars. You got to do that. Hashtag lockers before light bars. Yes, absolutely. So, and this again, lockers. You got 2 choices of Yukon lockers when you're coming off-road. You've got your Grizzly Locker Angry Bear.
Yep.
The Angry Bear. And then you got the Zip.
The Zip locker. Air-actuated locker. Perfect for the Pacific Northwest.
Because you can unlock it, and it's open.
It's open. It's just like the day they bought the Jeep brand new off the lot. It's going to drive smooth and easy.
And hit them switches.
And then you can go anywhere you want.
And it's like a spool. Spools are pretty cool too, though.
Yep, they are.
Spools. So now we know that it's up in the air, 35-inch tires. We've got lockers, like it should have.
Yep.
We've got good shafts, gears, and free spin.
Spin-free.
Spin-free kit up front.
Spin-free.
He can edit that. Don't worry about it. Got the spin-free kit up front, and then so next, now it's up. Next time we'll make it look better.
Yeah, we will. We've got a whole list of stuff to cover.
List of stuff. We're out. You can say cut again. You like doing that.
Oh, that's a wrap.
He likes doing that.